air inside the hospital was heavy, thick with the sterile smell of antiseptic and the quiet hum of machines that kept a fragile life suspended between two worlds. The millionaire stood stiffly near the bed where his daughter lay, pale and unmoving, her golden hair spread out like a halo against the pillow. His eyes, bloodshot from sleepless nights, were fixed on the monitor's flashing lines and numbers he barely understood but had come to dread. Doctors circled around, their clipped voices low but certain. It's time. There's no more hope. Keeping her on these machines is only prolonging the inevitable. His hand trembled as he held the pen over the document authorizing the withdrawal of life support. He had conquered industries, outsmarted rivals, built an empire brick by brick, but in this room, he was powerless. Every rational argument told him he should let go. His chest ached with grief, his heart breaking with each second that passed. Then, just as the pen touched the paper, the doors burst open with a crash. A boy, no older than 15, skinny, barefoot, his clothes stained and torn, rushed inside. Security guards shouted after him, but the boy's voice rose above the commotion, shaking with desperation. "Don't turn them off," he cried, his eyes blazing with a fire that seemed too fierce for his small frame. "Your daughter is going to come out of the coma." The room froze. Nurses stared, aghast. One of the doctors scoffed and motioned to have him removed. But the boy planted himself at the foot of the bed, gripping the rail as though he were anchoring himself to the girl's fragile existence. His chest heaved with urgency. The millionaire blinked at him in disbelief, unable to process who this ragged stranger was or why he spoke with such certainty. Yet, for the first time in weeks, the silence of the machines wasn't the only sound in the room. There was also the unshakable conviction in a poor boy's voice, echoing like a lifeline in the father's shattered heart. "Would you like me to expand scene 2 in the same immersive style next?" The guards seized the boy by the arms, trying to drag him away, but his voice carried like a thunderclap through the sterile air. "I'm telling the truth. She moved last night. I saw it." His words rang out with such force that even the millionaire, paralyzed in grief, lifted his head. "Stop," the millionaire ordered softly, his voice cracking. The guards froze mid-step, glancing uneasily at him before releasing the boy. The room grew unnervingly quiet. The doctors exchanged impatient looks, one of them stepping forward, his tone clipped. "Sir, please. This is nonsense. Your daughter's brain activity hasn't changed in months. This boy has no authority here. You need to sign." But the millionaire's gaze remained fixed on the boy. "Who are you? And why are you saying this?" The boy, still breathing hard, lowered his eyes. His hands shook as he pressed them together, as if clinging to invisible courage. "I don't have anyone in this hospital. I come here because..." He swallowed, his voice breaking. "Because no one should be alone. I've been sitting outside her window every night, praying for her. And last night," his eyes darted toward the still figure in the bed. "Last night I saw her fingers twitch. She's fighting. She doesn't want to leave you." The doctors scoffed, one shaking his head with a frustrated sigh. "Hallucinations. Wishful thinking. This boy is clinging to miracles. Sir, it is cruel to prolong this." But the boy's conviction didn't waver. He stepped closer to the bed, almost reverently, and touched the rail as if it were sacred. His voice dropped to a trembling whisper, though every word was clear. "I can feel it. She hears us. She's still in there. Please, don't give up on her. Now." The millionaire's chest tightened. He had always trusted science, trusted evidence, trusted numbers that couldn't lie. Yet here was a ragged boy with nothing. No degree, no power, no wealth, standing with a faith so unshakable it made the millionaire's heart hesitate. The pen in his hand suddenly felt unbearably heavy. Memories surged. His daughter laughing in the garden, tugging on his sleeve as a child, whispering, "I love you, Daddy," before drifting to sleep. His grip faltered, and slowly, he set the pen down. "Not yet," he murmured, his voice breaking. "We're not turning anything off. Not yet. Would you like me to expand scene 3 next in the same emotional, detailed flow?" The days stretched on, blurring into one another, yet the poor boy never left her side. Nurses whispered about him in the hallways, how he sat vigil for hours, how he spoke to the unconscious girl as though she were simply asleep. He would lean close and tell her stories about the world outside the hospital walls, about the sky he had watched turn pink at dawn, about the stray cat that followed him to the gates, about his own struggles that he rarely admitted to anyone. His voice was gentle, steady, carrying a warmth that machines and medicine could not provide. At night, when the millionaire dozed fitfully in a chair by the window, the boy hummed broken lullabies, melodies he barely remembered from his own mother before life had stolen her away. Sometimes he clasped the girl's hand, whispering, "I know you can hear me. Please fight. You're stronger than this. Don't let go." Slowly, almost imperceptibly, changes began to appear. At first, a faint flicker of her eyelashes, dismissed by the nurses as a reflex. Then the slightest twitch of her fingers, the barest shift of her lips. Each time, the boy noticed instantly, his eyes widening with hope. "See, she's trying," he would insist, his voice quivering with certainty. The millionaire, who had once drowned in despair, began to linger by the bedside longer. He watched the boy with quiet wonder, this child with nothing who gave everything. Wealth had bought him the best doctors, the finest machines, yet none of them had managed what the boy's unwavering faith was stirring, life itself. Then one morning, as sunlight spilled across the bed and painted the sterile room in gold, something happened. The girl's lips parted, a fragile sound escaping, a whisper, so faint it could have been mistaken for air. But the millionaire heard it. His heart stopped. "Father." The word was broken, raspy, but unmistakable. Tears welled instantly in the millionaire's eyes as he dropped to his knees, clutching her hand like a lifeline. The boy gasped, his own face alight with joy, as if the whole world had just been reborn in that single moment. Would you like me to now expand scene 4 into the emotional conclusion with the same level of depth? The hospital room became a place of stunned silence before it erupted in gasps and hurried footsteps. Nurses rushed forward, their professional masks cracking as disbelief spread across their faces. Doctors leaned in, stethoscopes trembling in their hands, trying to explain what had just happened with hurried jargon. They called it a spontaneous recovery, a rare neurological anomaly, a miracle of medicine. But the millionaire knew the truth ran deeper than any textbook could capture. He knelt beside his daughter, tears streaming freely, kissing her trembling hand as though afraid she might vanish if he let go. "I'm here, sweetheart. I'm here," he whispered, his voice breaking into sobs he had suppressed for months. The girl's tired eyes fluttered open, glassy but alive, and she weakly smiled at him. For the first time in endless nights of despair, the weight in his chest lifted, replaced by a fragile, burning hope. And then his gaze shifted to the boy. The poor child stood near the foot of the bed, his eyes glistening, his small hands clasped as though in prayer. He wasn't smiling triumphantly, nor seeking recognition, only relief that the girl had returned. The millionaire rose slowly, his powerful frame trembling, and to the astonishment of everyone present, he crossed the room and knelt before the boy. "How can I ever repay you?" he asked hoarsely, his voice stripped of pride, stripped of wealth, laid bare in gratitude. "You saved her when I had given up. Tell me what you want, anything." The boy shook his head, backing slightly as though the gesture of respect from such a man was too heavy for him to bear. "I don't want anything," he whispered. "I just wanted her to live. That's all." His eyes flickered toward the girl, and for a moment, his entire being seemed alight with quiet joy. The millionaire's heart swelled with something he had never felt in all his years of power, humility. He saw in the boy not poverty, but strength richer than gold. Slowly, he placed a hand on the boy's shoulder. "Then let me give you what you've given me, life. A home, a future." From that day forward, the poor boy was no longer an outcast wandering hospital corridors. He became part of their family, bound not by blood, but by something stronger, faith, love, and the miracle they had witnessed together. The girl recovered, her laughter filling the mansion halls once again. And in every smile she shared, every story the boy told, the millionaire saw the truth. Sometimes the greatest riches are born not from wealth, but from the unwavering belief of a heart that refuses to give up.